Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video, which is Warhammer Imperium issue 15. My huge apologies for how far behind this is from everybody else that just buys their issues from the newsagents. Unfortunately, Hachette Publishing seem to send this out quite late within the run, so I get it quite late, and unfortunately because of Christmas it was even later with all the bank holidays. But issue 15 and my next subscriber gift, which is the Citadel paint handle. We'll look at that in a mo. Let's get this open. Because it's Necron Flayed Ones, and these are miniatures I've not had previously. So you get 5 25mm bases and 1 sprue. We'll come to that in a mo. So here we go, issue 15. And basically you have 5 miniatures, and the contents include flesh-eating Necrons, the Imperium Sanctus, and reinforcements playthrough. So let's have a quick look. So you get your Flayed Ones data sheet, or not data sheet, but info. It gives you information on the Flayer virus, and Flayed Ones are monstrous Necrons afflicted by a mysterious curse that compels them to attempt to devour the flesh of the living and take their skin and bones as trophies. And the Flayer virus, long ago, the Satan known as Glandugor, the Flayer, was destroyed by the Necrons. It is said that with his last breath he cursed the Necron race. This curse resulted in a creeping madness known as the Flayer virus. Those Necrons affected by this virus awaken with a desperate hunger for the warm flesh and blood of the living. And there you get your battle record. Now, obviously, I mean, I've said this before, but I would personally, if you're going to write on these, photocopy them so that you've got the original, a clean original. We're then going into the Imperium Sanctus. This region of the Imperium has survived the opening of the Great Rift largely intact. Here the Astronomicon still shines brightly in this age of nightmares. However, no part of the galaxy is safe. So we've got a picture of Bobby G. It gives us information, a little passage about the Sol system, which is Earth. Okay, for those that don't know, Sol system is our home solar system. We then have chapter command, and this basically talks about people such as chapter masters and their honor guard. Necron Flayed Ones, how to build. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that these are really, really fiddly and an absolute pain in the bum to build. So I will build one and we'll see how bad they are. But with this one, they're not push to fit, so they're not easy build. You are going to be clipping and gluing all of these. And looking at the step-by-step build instructions, they do seem like they have quite a few stages. They're not 25mm bases, they're 28 according to this. Right, and then we go on to how to paint, obviously with the paints that we have already. So it's interesting to note that we are painting the skins, the flayed skins, in Corax White first. And there's quite a few bits and pieces. I think this guy even has like almost an arm and a hand attached, with a final gallery of what they should look like. So destroy the plasma site is the playthrough for 15. The plasma site is engaged in its repair routines. The Space Marines must destroy it before it can complete its task. Something lurks nearby, however. Ravenous Necron Flayed Ones have been drawn to from their extra-dimensional realm by the prospect of flesh. So the Necrons devour the enemy. Necron Flayed Ones seek to devour the Space Marines. The Canoptic plasma site must make use of this distraction to complete its programmed task. Eliminate the target. Despite the arrival of the flesh-hungry Flayed Ones, the Space Marines must complete their objective and eliminate the plasma site. So the Flayed Ones are not set up at the beginning of this, and the plasma site is at the far end using the large playmat, and the 6 assault intercessors that you're going to use are in separate corners. We then have the data sheets for the plasma sites, the Flayed Ones and the plasma site. So the plasma sites have 1 wound, movement of 8. The plasma site has a movement of 8. The Flayed Ones have a movement of 5 inches and 1 wound as well. And there's an alternative rematch where the Raw Warden in place of the plasma site and the Primaris Captain in place of 1 unit of assault intercessors. And then we go on to the playthrough itself, turn by turn example. Okay, so there you go. Right, now on the back page we have 5 more assault intercessors. We also have another sprue for the Munitorum armoured containers. This is the second one, and we should get another one in my next delivery, which will be 18 to 22. These, when we get these, that should be all 13 assault intercessors, as I understand it, for this particular series. So let's have a look. We got obviously the 5 bases there, and let's have a look. Let's bring it down so that you can see a bit better. And as you can see, these are really, really fiddly pieces, and obviously a lot of these clawed fingers are going to be very delicate for cleanup. So checking and cleaning mould lines away is going to be, I think, really difficult, and you're going to have to be really, really careful as to how you do any mould line cleanup. Potentially there could be a lot of breakages. These are a 2020 sculpt. And yeah, I mean, I can see some of the skin details, which looks quite grotesque, in a quite satisfying way, I suppose you could say. And I like the fact that they're kind of hunched over, kind of like an old man sort of thing, which is really interesting. But it does look, I mean, this one here actually, it's got a bit of a raptor claw going on its foot. The price of these, if I just call that up, so Necron Flayed Ones are £31.50, so getting this sprue of 5 within the Imperium magazine for £8.99 is a really good saving. So there you go, that's the miniatures. We'll come back to those in a minute and I'll build one. Right, Citadel colour handle. Now, I'm going to admit I've never ever purchased one of these. So this is something which I've obviously got as a subscriber. I'll bring in some minis. So yeah, I suppose the handle feels okay. It's a spring-loaded system. It's not works. It's not where you open one side and both sides will open up. It's sprung on each side, but it's not ratcheted so that they open up simultaneously. Now this one, according to the box, will take 25mm, like so. So a little cherub there on a 25mm base. These are the 28mm bases that came with the Flayed Ones, so they'll quite easily go on. They take the 32mm base, and the way I'm doing this is to pop it in on one side and just hold it, and then just pull out one of the sides so that it slides in quite easily. But yeah, 32mm base for the stealth suit there, and they pop out nice and easy as well. There's no major sort of like it's not massively clamped or anything. And then a 40mm base, and as I say, this will take the it says 32mm, 25 and 28mm, and then a 40mm, which is what it takes. So yeah, it seems okay. I'll give it a go. I've never used one, but as I say, I'll give it a go and see how it pans out. Right, I'll get on to building a flayed one now. So first one, according to the instructions, is going to need parts numbered conveniently 1 to 10, and obviously a base. Now, this is where it's going to be a little bit awkward, because you're going to need to glue these arms into place and then put the torso front on. So I recommend a little bit of glue, and then these are keyed, so they should fit one way only. So that's the first arm. And your second arm, and then the torso, there's a peg just at the back where you can push the body onto it. You can, if you so wish, just pop in a little bit more glue to ensure that that's going to stay. So you currently end up with something looking like that. You're then going to pop in the spine and basically the spine, the taller spine bits go up towards the front, because this little nub here is what the head will attach to. So that goes in there like so. And again, it is keyed, so that it should just only go in one way, but just make sure that you've got it even and upright. Now thankfully, when I was cleaning the kit up, it wasn't actually, the mould lines weren't actually too bad, which was something I was rather pleased about. Right, legs. So I'm going to suggest you put one leg attached to the base first. The reason I'm suggesting that is you will then glue the torso into this space and then glue the other leg on and glue it down so that it's in the right position. And I'm leaving off gluing on the hands until I've got the torso in the right place. Then glue your other leg on at the hip, and then secure to the base. And then that is the model secured. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue the head in, because I think it would be a bit awkward to glue the head in once you've got those claws in place. So the head again is keyed and should only go on one way. And then the claws, which again are keyed, so that they will only go on one way. Okay, and there you go, that's it. That's the first flayed one. So they look like they've got approximately between 8 and 10 parts each, by the look of it. And yeah, hopefully with the reasonably open poses as well, they shouldn't present too much of a problem for painting. But there you go, that's how you make your flayed ones.